Thank you, Councillor Mendes. CEO, councillors, aldermen, heads of department, staff, police officers, the media, especially invited guests. Good morning to you all. Glad to see you all up and about after the carnival season, and you quite a few of you all had a good time. So a few along the roads and stuff. But I'd just like to officially say this initiative, this is the second anniversary of the All Hands on Deck program. And the council, the CEO, the heads of department, the health department, the disaster unit, they will all tell you that this is the most important and the best program and the best thing, as chairman I can speak for myself as well, that we have done in the short time that we have held the chamber since 2013. You would have heard the CEO talk about the several years of devastation that the region has seen over the years. And I want to officially thank each and every one of you all who worked and assisted us last year. And I want to have a loud round of applause for this. Last year was the first time in 8 years we had no flooding in the entire region. That in itself speaks volumes with regards to the success of the program last year. Of course, with a certain amount of tweaking with regards to the vapors that we're running on with regards to the budget cuts. You all know what's going on with regards to the oil price reduction. Last year, we would have worked with the county super and his staff to pull in his staff, the laborers, the plumbers, the masons, the carpenters, and so on, to assist with this program to buffer the 70 workers that we have in the health department, which work to clean the rivers and the drains. And you all know how important it is to get into the rivers and the drains during the dry season where it's comfortable, where you don't have to be running out to the rivers when the river come down and so on. So it's imperative that we do it early. In fact, we're doing it 2 months earlier this year. If you recall, last year we were still young in the business of council. But we started much earlier this year with regards to going into the rivers and drains. But last year, the 56 workers worked, and we had, of course, budget constraints and so on. This year, we ensured that your 65 workers are going to be part of this program. You would have been working with us with the other drama that we had earlier in this fiscal year with regards to the chikungunya, which is something that caught all of us by surprise, with regards to cleaning all the empty lots in the area. Now that the place is a little dry, as you see the mountains are starting to get a little brown, the growing of bush in the empty lots and stuff will simmer down, as you all know how nature works with the lack of water. So we're going to utilize you all now to focus and emphasize now on the silting and cutting the bush in the rivers for the water courses could flow a little freer. I want to emphasize as well that the Diego Martin Regional Corporation and all corporations and boroughs are not in charge of the main water courses of the region. We're in charge of the small drains and rivers, the arteries that go to the main rivers. The Maraval River, the Pity Valley River, the Diego Martin River, the Carnage River is not in our purview. However, you would have recalled last year, we were not taking on, we were writing, we were calling, we were asking for meetings for the Ministry of Water and Environment, who that's under now their purview. That's changed from Ministry of Works under the Minister Ganga Singh, and they weren't taking us on. And come, what month? I think it was May. But at the end of the day, it worked. They came out eventually and started assisting us. And I'm not taking anything away from the ministry. They have been working. We want them to work a lot more. We want them to assist us, not just with the infrastructure work of the rivers. We also want them to assist us with the cleaning. We also have requested a meeting with the minister, and he is finally after almost 2 years, replied. And he was supposed to set up a meeting after Carnival. I've written him and called again to see how soon we could get that meeting going, because the cleaning of the rivers wasn't happening in the years before. We have moved hundreds of dump loads of silt and bush from the rivers last year. I went out, the council went out, the CEO went out, the staff went out on tours before to see which rivers and stuff. And there were rivers that we didn't even know existed. Quite a few. We were standing up on the ground like this, and where the river, and it's actually the river flat with the road. Right? And the staff went out and they silt hundreds of dump loads, and that was able to alleviate a number of the flooding in the area. Yes, we had a drier rainy season last year, but when you measure the rainfall of individual rains, most of the times, I think in previous years, we would have had flooding in those rains. And again, we have to give kudos to the staff. We have to give kudos, first of all, and thank God for not having any major rains last year. We hope that He continue to bless us, continue to bless the staff, the residents, the region, that we have another dryish or drier rainy season. I also want to thank the disaster unit, who has also been proactive, and that is a word that I want after our tenure finishes, because May will be half our tenure already. Next year's local government election already, believe it or not. Time is flying. But the legacy that this council, this CEO, Mr. Maraj, the health department, and the staff must leave is that we have been proactive and that we have left blueprints. Because when we came in here, we didn't find any plans. We were asking for files, how things were done, and they weren't. Everything was reactive. It flooded, let you go out and clean. $130 million spent in a few weeks to clean up. The candle costing more than the funeral. Right? We are being proactive, and we want to leave this all hands on deck. I want to hear next 20, 30 years that this all hands on deck is continuing, that we're being proactive and going out there in the dry season to ensure that people can be comfortable. As the CEO said, most of us live in the Diego Martin region. Most of us have homes. Your grandmother, your mother may have left your home. That is an investment for you. That is your nest egg. That's for you to leave for your children and grandchildren. There's a value, there's equity in your home. There's people, when we walk out, the councillors go out, the CEO go out, I go out, people always talk about rhinophobia in this region, where anytime you sneeze, people panic. First they feel the place going to flood. We have alleviated that stress to an extent, and just by us being out there, just by us doing what we're doing here today, people thank us. I mean, at the end of the day, it's Mother Nature, the Lord is in control. We've seen it in North America and first world countries. When she ready for you, she ready for you. But at least people must see that we did our best, and we made an effort, and we were proactive. And that's why the council and the staff is also here, and that's why the name of the program is called All Hands on Deck. This is a team effort. The days of the chairman and the CEO sitting down and cocking up their foot in the office done. Most of you all have broken bread with you all and had lunch on a Friday, many of the team, and we plan to continue that. But the council and the staff and the heads of the department are going to be out there with you all, just like last year, working with you all. And I don't want you all to panic when you see the chairman pull up. The chairman may walk with some drink, some water, some roti. But at the end of the day, we have to work and we have to deliver, and the residents must see us out there. And it's not just for press or to see us, they must legitimately see work being done. Right? So take pride in what you're doing. This is for you, this is for your children, this is for your place not to flood, this is for your value of Diego Martin. I tell you, a number of real estate agents told me if Diego Martin region continued to flood, the property values would have started to plummet. So this little year break, and I'm anticipating this year and the end of our term, and as we continue to pray. We have a praying CEO, Councillor Slater, in church every day, Councillor, the Vice Chairman, praying every day, praising the Lord for us not to have any flooding. So we need that too. But combining all the efforts and being prepared, and Jerry David, I want to thank you, because you didn't get to stretch your legs for a little while now. Usually you're a man out there, but we're keeping you busy with your new thing. But he's being proactive even in that regard, where we're being redundant, we're making sure that we have things in place if it happens. Last year, you would have recalled, we had a number of bushfires. As you all know, when the mountainsides burn, the water flows quicker. Right? The corporation went out and we planted over 1,000 trees in these burnt areas. We have now started to do fire traces in those hills behind La Puerta, where it's difficult for the fire departments to get. There's a big bucket that the fire brigades have with a helicopter. That wasn't working last year. So again, being proactive, what we do, we're not waiting on them. We're going to cut the fire trails. We're going to continue to plant the trees on a voluntary basis. And again, any one of you all, and again, we need to get the communication a little better with regards to staff. But anytime you want to go out and plant these trees, you all are all welcome. The council, the CEO, all of us go out to please come out and just plant a tree. Right? In the next 20, 30 years, you can tell your grandchildren, hey, I planted that tree up there and it helping hold the soil. So these are all the things that we're doing to be proactive to ensure that we don't flood. Flooding is just one part of Mother Nature's fury. They have earthquakes, they have tsunamis and everything, other things that we may not be in control of. But again, the disaster unit and health, and with efforts that we're doing, that we'll be a little more prepared so when that happens. So I want to thank you all. We have 1 year down, we're going to have next year and this year cover that we have a little break where the people could breathe, and that we can have no flooding, that we can enjoy the year, that we can have a safe year. I want to thank the residents of the region as well. We have noticeably seen a reduction in the illegal dumping in the rivers. That was a major problem last year. I want to thank WASA and the council and the CEO and the staff for pushing WASA. As simple as it may sound, you all remember that a lot of the flooding that was caused by the pipes that go across the river and the bamboo and the other things, which is not our fault, which is our people's fault. Bamboo sometimes get dislodged and come down and dam the rivers. You notice that they've started to go up with those piping down, quite a few. And we at the coordinating meeting and the councillors are pushing to ensure that WASA continues this drive. I think they've reached, last time I spoke to Mr. Hooker, they've reached 50 to 60% of all rivers getting those pipes up. But we have to keep that pressure going. And those are the little things. There are a number of politicians, there are a number of people who like to take picture. And when there's a disaster, you know, we only have one media person here today. We will send out the press release. But if it was a flood, the place would be full of media. They like a disaster. In fact, it's a joke that we have in council. When we launch a youth scholarship program, when we launch other programs, the Calypso competition, the only question that media is asking is, what are they doing for flooding? Flooding, they go Martin. When they say they go Martin, they think flooding. And that was one of the main things this council put in the manifesto, and we have taken the bull by the horn. It's been my main focus, it's been the vice chairman main focus, Councillor Alonso, Councillor Benoit, Alderman Simon, Councillor Long. We are focused mainly on alleviating the flooding. We are not magicians, we are not gods, we are not demigods, we can't stop it, but we could do our best to ensure that it doesn't happen. So again, I just want to thank you all. This morning is an exercise that we plan to do. The CEO said we did it once last year with the staff, but the council and the CEO and myself have been going out to different teams to assist. So today is the start. You'll be seeing us coming by you all to assist you all as much as we can on the ground. And anytime you'll have any issues, talk to your councillor, talk to your staff. In fact, today, after we're done here, I want you all to voice anything that you see, because I always say, we neglect the staff too much here. We need to get information from the staff with regards to how we can improve our service. You know, sometimes we get caught up in the ivory tower and we lose touch. We need to hear from you all in terms of equipment, in terms of you all giving us a little more productivity. We're working with you all. It's a different vibe that we have now in the council, a different vibe we have in the corporation. We have bridged that gap with regards to the different teams. We consider everybody one. It's not no council or heads of department or CEO. We all are one. We all are from the region. If you're not living here, we have family and friends, or we work here. So we have to ensure that we continue to work together. So God bless you all. Let's have a successful dry season. Let next year, down this time, we could come back and celebrate a next year of no flooding. God bless you all. Be safe. Be safe. Make sure that you all are safe wherever you all are going. And thank you and good luck. Take care.